How to heal your childhood shame and reclaim your life. Hi, champions. I'm Dr. Meghna Dikshit, author of You Matter, and I'm so excited to welcome you to our channel. In this channel, we dive deep into the limitless potential of your mind and your brain. You learn to rewire your brain to achieve all the success that you want, heal your past, and prepare for an extraordinary future. So, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on all the tools and techniques that I share on the regular basis. And for my committed subscribers, welcome back. Your journey to mastering your mind and living your best life continues here. And if you're ready now to unleash your brain's potential, to heal that childhood shame, type ready in the chat box. Also, remember to check out under two links in the caption. They are very valuable links. First is to join my live seminar where you will learn how to train your brain to unlock your full potential and achieve all your goals. Second is to get my book You Matter and start your personal journey with me today by purchasing the book on Amazon and taking the first step towards your transformation. So let's begin now on our topic for today. Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, it is never enough? No matter how much you achieve, there is a niggling doubt, have I really achieved something? If you have ever felt this, you are not alone. What you are experiencing is not just self-doubt, it is toxic shame. And unless you heal it, shame can silently sabotage your relationships, your success, and even your ability to feel joy. Let me begin by sharing a case study about one of our advanced level participants. He is in his mid-50s. He joined our program to heal chronic procrastination. He's a businessman. He's doing well in his business. However, he's stuck at the same turnover for the last 5 years. He knows what he needs to do, but he's not doing it. Now, I have always said this to all my students that procrastination is just a symptom. It is not your main problem. The root cause is something else. So, this gentleman, when he came for his sessions, here is what was unearthed. He is the youngest of 7 siblings. There is a considerable gap between him and his older siblings. So much so that his eldest brother is more than 18 years elder to him, kind of a father figure. All his childhood, he was told what to do and what not to do, how to behave. He grew up listening to instructions from everybody. He grew up feeling his free will curbed, not being able to exercise his voice, his desires and wants. Slow resentment built up within him. He carried that resentment into his adult life and into his business. Every time his business associates would ask him to do something, his inner child would get triggered. The resentment would flare up and he would become aggressive. This began to impact the business. His growth stopped. Resentment got converted into anger and anger into passive aggressive behavior. And you know what? Underlying all this was deep shame towards self, shame that he could not stand up for himself with his family, shame that he is unwanted, unloved, and uncared. Does this resonate with you? If yes, then type yes in the chat box now. Now, can I share the good news with you here? Toxic shame can be healed, and you begin to create the life you truly desire from a place of self-worth and wholeness. Today, we are going to deep dive into understanding toxic shame, how it is formed, how it hides within you, and most importantly, how you can release it. Start creating the life you truly deserve. Let's first understand what is toxic shame. What is the hidden root of your self-sabotage? What is shame? Healthy shame is a natural emotion. It tells us when we have done something that does not align with our values. It is corrective shame. It's like an inner compass guiding us toward integrity. For example, your father asked you to pay the electricity bill. You were busy with your college stuff and you forgot. You return home, your father inquires whether you have paid the bill. You say no, and your father says, such a simple task and you could not do it. You apologize and promise to pay it immediately. This is healthy shame. You realize somebody else was dependent on your action and you could not honor it and you apologize. But toxic shame is different. It's not about what you have done. It's about who you believe you are. The moment your father says such a simple task and you could not complete, the voice in the head says, "See what kind of a child you are. Your father is doing so much of hard work and this is how you repay him. You are bad." Toxic shame becomes a core identity, a deep wound that tells you that you are the problem. In this example, if you experience toxic shame, then you will shout at your father. You will say, "Can you not see how busy I am? Am I sitting idle at home?" Toxic shame is painful, and hence most people hide it under layers of perfectionism, overachievement, anger, or even people pleasing. They don't realize that the drive to be perfect, the fear of rejection, or the inability to say no are not personality traits. They are symptoms of unresolved shame. Now, did you get this? Type IGI, I got it in the chat box. So, where does this toxic shame come from? Toxic shame is often born in childhood. When we are little, we depend on our caregivers for everything, not just food and safety, but love, validation, and belonging. If our parents were emotionally unavailable, critical, unpredictable, or abusive, we internalize their behavior as something wrong with us. Maybe you were told, "Don't cry, you're too sensitive. Why can't you be more like your brother? You will never amount to anything." Like for me, I was always told that if I don't study, then I will end up as a housekeeper in other people's homes, washing clothes and utensils. Or maybe you were simply ignored. Your emotional needs never met. To a child, that feels like rejection. And rejection to a child's nervous system feels like death. So your mind creates a story to make sense of it. If I am not loved, it must be because I am not good enough. I am a bad person. That's how toxic shame becomes embedded in your identity. Not as a thought, but as a felt sense in your body. Every cell of your body starts resonating on that vibration. So how does this toxic shame ultimately shows up in our adult life then? Even though you have grown up, that wounded part of you still runs the show, silently dictating your choices and behaviors. I gave the case study in the beginning. Here is how it might show up. You constantly compare yourself to others. You overwork and you overgive to earn love or approval. You struggle to receive, whether it is love, money, or compliments. You attract relationships where you feel unseen or not enough. You fear being judged, rejected, or abandoned. You carry guilt for simply wanting more from life. These patterns are not who you are. They are protective mechanisms created by the part of you that was once hurt and never healed. Let's understand the science behind toxic shame and the body. From the mind-body perspective, shame is not just an emotion, it's an energetic imprint. When you feel shame, your body literally contracts. Your shoulders cave in, your eyes drop, your breath shortens. You physically shrink to make yourself invisible. Chronic shame activates your body's stress response, flooding your system with cortisol and adrenaline. Over time, this dysregulated nervous system can even manifest as physical symptoms of fatigue, autoimmune diseases, digestive problems, or anxiety. So, healing shame is not just emotional, it is physiological. You must bring safety back into your body before you can transform your beliefs. Let's now understand the step-by-step way to heal toxic shame. The first step is to recognize and name your shame. Healing begins with awareness. Start by noticing when shame arises in your daily life. It often hides behind thoughts like, "I shouldn't have said that. They probably think I'm stupid. I always mess things up." When you catch yourself in shame, pause and take a deep breath and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Identify the feeling. Then gently say to yourself, "I am enough. I am safe." Naming it separates you from the emotion. You are not your shame. You are simply feeling this shame. It is rightly said, condemn the act and not the person. Step 2. Heal the inner child. Behind every shame response is a younger version of you, the child who felt unseen, unloved, or not enough. Healing shame means reparenting that child within you. In our sessions, we do a deep inner child healing work with our participants. Here is a beautiful process you can try to. Close your eyes and visualize your younger self, maybe 6 or 7 years old. Notice how they look, how they are feeling. Gently walk up to them and say, I see you, I love you, and I'm here for you. Imagine holding that child, offering them the love, compassion, and safety they never received. When you do this regularly, you begin to replace the old story, I am not enough, with a new one. I'm whole, I'm loved, I am worthy. Step 4. Challenge those shame-based beliefs. In this, the thought journal activity works wonders. Begin each morning with 10 minutes of writing in your thought journal. Pen down each and every thought and do this activity for minimum 90 days. You will soon see that all your deep innermost thoughts will begin to surface. Daily practice of thought journal is a great way to declutter our mind of negative chatter. Step number 5. Practice radical self-compassion. Yes, radical is the key word. Shame cannot survive in the presence of compassion. When you start to treat yourself with kindness, especially when you make mistakes, you begin to dissolve shame at its core. Instead of saying, I shouldn't have done that, try saying, I did my best with the awareness I had, and I'm learning. Self-compassion is not self-pity. It's the recognition that you are human, just like everyone else. Research says that people who practice it regularly experience less anxiety, more resilience, and deeper fulfillment. So start today. Every time you catch yourself judging, pause and ask, what would love say to me right now? Step number 6. Surround yourself with safe, supportive relationships. Shame thrives in secrecy and isolation. It heals in connection. So find people who see you, accept you, and hold space for your truth, whether it is a trusted friend, a therapist, or support group. Healing relationships remind your nervous system that it is safe to be seen. When you share your story in a safe space and are met with empathy instead of judgment, your brain literally rewires. The part of you that once believed I'm bad begins to experience I'm loved even when I'm vulnerable. When I look at the community that has emerged through our programs and workshops, I feel immense gratitude. This community is a safe haven for thousands of our participants. The last step, but very crucial. Step 7 is to create new identity beyond shame. Once you start releasing shame, you will notice something powerful. The parts of you that were hidden will begin to emerge. You will feel freer to express yourself, to take risks, to speak your truth. This is your authentic self. The version of you that existed before shame told you who to be. Start asking yourself, what does my authentic self want? What kind of life would feel true to me? What am I no longer willing to tolerate? Creating the life you want is not about hustling harder. It is about remembering who you truly are and allowing that version to lead. When you heal shame, you begin to remember that your worth was never something to earn. It was innate. You are not broken. You were never unworthy. You simply forgot your light under the weight of someone else's pain. Healing shame is therefore an act of remembering your true nature, love, joy, and creation. And from that state, creating the life you want becomes effortless because you're no longer chasing worthiness, you are expressing it. You choose relationships that feel nourishing instead of draining. You pursue work that aligns with your soul, not your ego. You set boundaries not from fear but from self-respect. You take inspired action, not compulsive action. As you integrate this truth, the world around you begins to mirror your inner wholeness. Opportunities align, relationships deepen, and life starts to flow. If you take one thing from today's message, let it be this: you're not your shame, you're the consciousness that feels shame, and therefore you have the power to transform it. Every time you choose compassion over criticism, presence over perfection, and love over fear, you heal not just yourself but generations before you and after you. Because when one person heals shame, they create a ripple of freedom in their families, communities, and the collective human heart. If this message resonated with you, share it with at least 10 people who needs to hear it. Because the more we bring shame into the light, the less power it holds. And remember, healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you truly are. Stay blessed, stay conscious, and always remember you matter.